Hello student, today topic is the analyst and the user interface. In the last topic you have learned the various roles of the analyst, the various functions and the various activities of the analyst, various skills of the analyst. Today's topic is the analyst and the user interface, because the analyst is the most important vital role play in the system development life cycle and in the whole software development process. And the user interface, because the every system is developed for the user, and the analyst and the user interface is most important in the whole software development process. An important aspect of system development is a viable interface between the analyst and the user, because the analyst and the user interface is important for the development of the system, because the user requirement, user problems, user give the new system, because the in the users organizations creates the problem, and these problems is solved by the analyst. The analyst must devote as a must skill and effort to achieve product relationship with the user, and as they devote to the technical requirement of the system. Most research indicate that the number of user increases, the probability of the system failure increases without the close analyst user interface. Next is the behavioral issues. Most research has been done to study users and their relationship with the system analyst, increasing the product of the system failure that were not be caused by the technical problem, made it necessary to seek a better understanding of the analyst and the user interface. The most understanding between the analyst and the user interface is important, because the many times the system failures are arises, the system is not properly work, not the system is properly the user requirements is not fulfilled. At that time the behavioral issue is important between the analyst and the user interface. Next is the user motivation. The motivational approach in the system development states that the candidate system should satisfy the user needs if they are going to use if it's several models of user behavioral attempted to look at the motivation behind the system asset. The motivate the user in the system development process should satisfy the users needs. They are going to the several models, and users satisfaction is most important. Then user is every time motivated by the analyst. Next is the analyst and the user differences. Many times the analyst and the user differences is arises in the software development process. On the surface of differences in the education, experience and languages are the quite obvious, and many times the education analyst is well qualified. He know the how to develop, how to design it, and every he have the knowledge, experience and language. The analyst impatience with the user ignorance about the terminology like chip, CRT, and the user impatience with the analyst limited understanding of the business, however often lead to conflict during the system development. The analysts know the terminology like chip and the CRT, and the user is know the how user is know the knowledge about the business. These types of the analyst and the user differences is arises in during the system development. Next is the political factor. The since information is a source of organizational power, the process of system development may be viewed as the contest for the power, where analysts have the initial advantage. The system development is often viewed as bargaining process, where analysis and user attempt to enhance the power position and the self-interest. Next is conflict resolution. The role of the analyst require coordinating the vast network of people's ideas and integrating them into a systematic process design. Analysts are expected to adopt their own personal style to user personality factor to improve communication and promote the system success. Next is the place of the analyst, the place of analyst in the MIS organization. The MIS means Management Information System. The organized function is the MIS in the MIS organization, the place of the analyst. The organized function is the task of grouping and assigning work elements to the appropriate areas. An MIS manager organized by assigning tasks, dividing work into the specific jobs and defining the relationship among them. The MIS organization structure encompasses supervisory level, authority relationship, and the general pattern of activities carried out by employees at each level. The MIS organization structure encompasses in the supervisory level, authority relationship. These types of the levels are properly managed by the analyst. The chain of command extend from manager to the subordinate. The chain of the company manager to their subordinate to the last level of the employee. This is properly organized by the analyst. There is a direct line of authority from the director of MIS services to each of the supervisor in chain of the analysis and design, programming and the operation. There is a direct line of the authority between the chain of the supervisor, analysis, design and the programming and the operation. The analysis, design, programming and the operation, the whole operations are performed in the system development life cycle. This line of the authority permits the supervisor to exercise direct command over subordinate to carry out their task. The structure of an MIS facility is organized around the primary functions to be performed. The functional requirement of an MIS facility center around the following areas. First is the administration, second is system analysis and design, third is the programming and the fourth is the operation. First is administration, which handles the changing needs of the user and user system relationship, which handle the changing needs of the users and the user system relationship, needs of the user and the user system relationship, which relationship is performs and takes with the system. These types of the handles in the user and user system relationship. Long range planning, which includes personal selection, recruitment, application development and planning for anticipated changes in hardware and software. Personal selection, recruitment for the organization, application development, planning for anticipated changes in the hardware and the software. Many changes are taken in their hardwares and the software. Budget planning and control of the entire MIS division. Budget planning for the financial planning is also taken and the control to the entire MIS division. Personal administration is also and training for upgrading the employees skills, because the employees work on the new systems. They have know and aware how to work with new system, new technology, and they upgrade their knowledge and they provide the training for upgrading the employee skills. Next is system analysis and design, may be organized as a project oriented, pool oriented, or the functional. System analysis and they may be the project oriented and the functionally. The project oriented arrangement team of the analysis is performed to work on one project. Each team has a project leader who reports directly to the system manager. This arrangement is typically of smaller installation that handle a limited project. Each team had the project leader who reports directly to the system manager, and this is the small installation that handle the limited of the project. Next is the pool oriented arrangement. Analyst works on a mini system assignment within the firm. Once the job is completed, they return to the pool for the another assignment. System team is on loan to report directly to the manager of the operating department where the application design is requested. This arrangement gives the department some control over its own application. Next is the functional structure of analysis. Assign a group of analysis to serve a specific system. For example, there may be a personal system team, production system team, and the marketing system team. Each team has a manager who reports directly to the director of the system development. Next is the programming. Programming is a structural around, there are the three areas: application, software, and the maintenance. In many application and programmer are placed on the same project team with the analyst. Software programmer are responsible for modifying compilers and the software packages used by existing application. Maintenance programmer handle all changes required to keep a system operating. The programming is in the programming covers the application, software, and the maintenance. The software programming is taken by the programmer and provides the software, and then maintenance programmer handle all changes required to keep a system operating. Many types of the changes are provided by the users. Many types of the system failures related problems are arises. These types of the problems are solved in the maintenance programmer. Next is the operation. Operation handles job scheduling, supportive services such as the supplies inventory, programming, and the data library. These functions are coordinated with system design and the programming under a master plan. Operation handles the job scheduling. The who one is the performing the HR, which one is the performing the software programming, design, analysis. These types of the jobs are these types of the work is assigned to the every employee of the organization. Supportive services such as the inventory, programming, data library, who is handle the data, who is maintain the data library. These types of the operations are performed in the MIS organization. Next is the functions of key system personnel. The functions of key system personnel. The manager MIS services, the MIS manager is responsible for planning, organizing, coordinating, directing the activities of the entire division. Typically, manager have the good technical and the manager skill. The job requirement depend on the size of the firm and the sophistication of the MIS facility. Typically, the MIS manager provides these types of the responsibility. The key qualities of the MIS manager: the skills for the planning, organizing, controlling of the work of the division, ability to deal logically with difficult problems and the new situation, new problems, handles by the MIS manager. Technical knowledge of hardware, software packages and the networking. Technical knowledge of hardware, software packages and their networking also. Ability to relate to other. Many problems arises in the organization. These problems are properly handled and properly coordinate with the every division and the every department of the organization. Next is MIS system department. The second level of the manager position in the MIS division is the system supervisor. The system supervisor is perform the primary functions of preparing a long range of plans for the system project, authorizing the system project, organizing and staffing the project team, preparing and maintaining the system procedure, conducting a system survey and recommending system changes, establishing standards and specification for the proposed hardware. Project management deals with the system development life cycle including feasibility study, design, system specification, programming, testing and the implementation. It is a detailed procedure for evaluating the project resources and managing the allocated cost. The master plan included the description of the various tasks and the estimated project startup and the termination date and the time, cost, workforce required for the each aspect of the project. These types of the activity and these types of the operation is performed by the manager's system department, the second level of the manager position in the MIS division. Today close your session and thank you.